Florence Scovel Shinn once wrote, "Infinite Spirit, open the way for my great abundance. I am an irresistible magnet for all that belongs to me by divine right." But here's the truth most have never been told. Every step you take is already a command. Every footfall is a decree whispered into the ground. And the earth itself is listening. This is what I call the Footstep Law, the hidden truth that your walk is not random, it is rhythmic, it is declarative, and it either commands prosperity forward or delays it. Pause for a moment and ask yourself, how have I been walking through life? Hurried? Fearful? Heavy? With hesitation? Or steady, expectant, and aligned with divine certainty? You see, wealth does not simply arrive at the one who waits. It is magnetized to the one who moves. But not just any movement, aligned movement, commanded movement. Your feet are not simply carrying your body. They are carrying your decree. Florence reminded her students, faith knows it has already received and acts accordingly. So how would one who already knows wealth belongs to them walk? Would they drag their feet? Would they shuffle, apologizing with each step? Or would they walk upright, shoulders lifted, stride steady, each step saying without words, I am chosen, I am wealthy, I am unstoppable under divine law? The Footstep Law is this: every step taken in faith, aligned with a wealth decree, is an instruction to the universe, and the universe must obey. Now, let me give you the command that transforms your very walk. Each time your right foot touches the ground, silently affirm, wealth comes. Each time your left foot follows, silently affirm, wealth stays. Walk in this rhythm, and soon you'll feel the shift. You will no longer wander. You will no longer stumble. You will no longer hope that prosperity might notice you someday. You will command it, step by step, stride by stride, until the very ground beneath you begins to echo. Here walks one who knows the law. Florence often said, man's word is his wand, filled with magic and power. But did you realize that your steps are also words? Silent, rhythmic words spoken into the earth, traced upon the ground. The land records them. The air vibrates with them. Heaven responds to them. This is why some feel that doors open wherever they go, while others feel resistance at every corner. It is not the place. It is the decree in their feet. It is the rhythm of their stride. It is the law of their footsteps, either commanding wealth or repelling it. Today, you are being given this sacred law, and once you receive it, you cannot walk the same again. Because each step is a seed, each stride is a signal, each path you take is already pre-written with wealth waiting to rise up and meet you. So I ask you now, will you walk as if you are wandering? Or will you walk as if you are commanding? Whisper this with me as your first step into the Footstep Law. Every step I take commands wealth forward. Every stride I make anchors prosperity to my life. I do not wander. I walk in divine rhythm, and money obeys me. Now, imagine the ground beneath you glowing with each step. Golden light prints where your feet land, leaving a trail of prosperity so strong that nothing can erase it. This is your new walk. This is your new decree. This is the Footstep Law awakening beneath you. And this is just the beginning. Because soon, I will show you how the ancients understood footsteps as sacred contracts. and how Florence's words tied directly to this hidden path. For thousands of years, footsteps were never seen as ordinary. They were sacred. Every path walked was a path claimed. Every ground touched was a ground spoken for. In fact, in ancient traditions, a person's footprint was considered a seal, a mark of ownership, a living signature pressed into the earth. Florence Scovel Shinn declared, "Nothing stands between man and his highest ideals and every desire of his heart, but doubt and fear." And doubt often shows up in how we move. Hesitant steps, slow, dragging movement, walking as if carrying burdens instead of blessings. But the ancients knew the secret. Every footfall is a covenant. In the Bible, God told Joshua, "Every place that the sole of your foot shall tread upon, that have I given unto you." Notice, not every place you think about, not every place you dream of, not every place you ask politely for, but every place you step. That is the footstep law in its original form. Step is claim. Step is command. Step is covenant. The earth does not listen to the idle word alone. It listens to the embodied decree, the word in motion, the command in stride. When you walk with intention, you are echoing Joshua's promise. This ground is mine. This path is mine. This prosperity is mine. Now let's bring this forward into your life. When you step into your workplace, what covenant do your feet declare? When you step into your bank, what decree do you imprint upon the floor? When you step into your own home, do your footsteps say, "Lack lives here," or "Wealth has claimed this place"? Florence said, "You cannot always control your thoughts, but you can control your words." And I add, you can also control your walk. So even when the mind feels scattered, even when the doubts whisper, your feet can still carry faith. Your stride can still declare law. Your walk can still command wealth forward. Here's the practical exercise. Next time you enter any doorway, pause for a heartbeat and whisper within, "My foot claims this place for abundance." Step in and let the ground itself witness your command. Because this is not just metaphor, this is law. The ancients practiced it. Florence spoke it. Now you are reclaiming it. And as you continue this journey, I will reveal the rhythm hidden in footsteps, how every walk can become a prosperity march, a wealth command in motion. Because when you walk in rhythm with divine law, you do not chase money. Money chases you. Pause for a moment and listen to your own steps. Not with your ears, but with your spirit. Every step you've ever taken has had a rhythm. Some rushed, some dragging, some steady, some hesitant. But here's the truth. Rhythm is more than sound. It is a declaration. It is a pattern. And the subconscious mind is always listening for patterns. Florence Scovel Shinn said, "The subconscious is simply power without direction. It obeys orders without reasoning." This means your subconscious listens to the rhythm of your life, not just the words of your mouth. And the way you walk tells it what to create. Think of a drum. When struck with power and certainty, it commands attention. When tapped timidly, it barely stirs the air. Your footsteps are the drum of your destiny. They send signals with every strike, every beat. They tell your subconscious what to expect, what to summon, what to attract. When your steps are heavy with fear, your subconscious records. This ground is uncertain. This journey is dangerous. Wealth is far away. When your steps are hesitant, it hears, I am not sure I belong here. Resources should wait. But when your steps are steady, measured, and infused with faith, the subconscious receives this law. I belong here. I expect abundance. I command prosperity now. And the subconscious, like a faithful servant, begins to adjust. It opens your eyes to opportunities you once overlooked. It nudges you into decisions that magnetize profit. It aligns your timing so that doors swing open exactly as your feet arrive. This is the rhythm of wealth, and it can be trained. Here's how. Set aside 5 minutes each day to walk with intention. Not a hurried march, not a lazy shuffle, but a steady stride. As your right foot strikes the ground, decree inwardly, I receive. As your left foot follows, affirm, I retain. Walk in this loop. I receive, I retain. I receive, I retain. Until it feels like a heartbeat. This simple rhythm retrains your subconscious to expect flow and preservation. Not only money arriving, but money staying. Not only blessings coming, but blessings remaining. Florence reminded her students, faith without works is dead, and walking in rhythm is faith in motion. It is word turned into step. It is command embodied. Visualize it now. With every step, golden ripples spread outward beneath your feet, flowing in perfect circles, overlapping and merging until the entire ground glows with light. The earth is alive, responding to your decree. It is whispering back, I have heard, I will obey. The more often you walk this way, the more it becomes second nature. Soon you will catch yourself moving through stores, banks, offices, no longer wandering, no longer hesitating, but commanding through rhythm. And others will notice. They will sense something different in your presence. Because the wealth that obeys you will leave traces wherever you step. But this is only the beginning. Because rhythm alone is powerful, but when combined with spoken decree, it becomes unstoppable. Florence called this the power of the word backed by faith. In the next revelation, I will show you how to merge the rhythm of your walk with the words of your decree, so that every step becomes a spoken prayer, and every stride becomes a law the universe must honor. Florence Scovel Shinn taught, your word is your wand. The words you speak create your reality. But what if your words were not only spoken with your mouth, but also spoken with your feet? This is the secret most never discover. When rhythm and decree are united, you become unstoppable. Your walk becomes your sermon. Your stride becomes your scripture. Your steps become your prophecy. Think about it. Your body is already a walking affirmation. Every gesture speaks. Every movement declares. So when you align your spoken decree with your walking rhythm, you double your authority. Here's how to practice it. Take a walk where you can be fully present, in your home, your garden, or even just pacing quietly in your room. As your right foot touches the ground, say aloud, wealth comes. As your left foot follows, Declare, wealth stays. Right foot, wealth comes. Left foot, wealth stays. Keep this rhythm for a few minutes. You will feel your body and your words merging into one command. No longer separate, no longer scattered. You are fully aligned. Your thoughts, your words, your body, your spirit. Florence often emphasized the law of agreement. When two agree, it shall be established. Think of this practice as agreement between your word and your walk. Two witnesses rising up to establish your wealth in the physical. Your mouth speaks it. Your feet seal it. This practice rewires your subconscious at lightning speed. Why? Because the subconscious absorbs not only sound, but motion. When you embody the word in your stride, the subconscious has no room for doubt. It sees, it hears, it feels, and it obeys. Picture it now. With every step, your decree echoes into the ground. The earth itself becomes a megaphone, carrying your command into unseen dimensions. Angels walk with you, marking your trail with light. Opportunities begin shifting course to intersect with your path. Money, resources, connections, all magnetized to your footprint of command. This is no longer just walking. It is wealth walking. It is command in motion. It is the footstep law alive and active. But here's the mystery most overlook. The ground is not passive. It remembers. Every field, every street, every threshold you cross holds the imprint of your decree. And as you revisit those places, the ground responds again, echoing your law back to you, amplifying your prosperity as you move. So make this your new way of walking. Do not wander. Do not drag. Do not hesitate. Walk as one who knows. Stride as one who commands. Let your body and your word agree, and watch how swiftly heaven aligns your path with treasures long held in waiting. And in the next revelation, I will show you something even deeper. How to use the footstep law, not only to command wealth for yourself, but to shift the atmosphere of every place you enter. Because when a wealth walker steps in, lack must step out. Florence Scovel Shinn declared, "You are a tower of radiating power. You attract that which you radiate." When you walk in the footstep law, you are not just moving through space. You are radiating power into the very ground, into the very air, into the very atmosphere around you. Most people believe their environment controls them. They walk into a room and absorb the energy. They walk into a workplace heavy with lack and suddenly feel drained. They step into a home where people argue and feel tension in their spirit. But the footstep law flips this. When you walk in command, you set the atmosphere. The environment does not dictate to you. You dictate to the environment. Think about it. Everywhere Jesus walked, the atmosphere shifted. The sick were healed. The oppressed were freed. The hungry were fed. Not because of the place, but because of his presence, his stride, his command. Florence echoed this truth when she wrote, "Every place you step into should be better because you entered." That is the footstep law alive. That is what happens when a wealth walker moves with divine authority. Here's the decree for atmosphere. Before you step into any place, whisper within, "My footsteps carry abundance. Where I walk, lack cannot stay. Where I step, wealth awakens." Now picture this. You enter your office, the same office that yesterday felt heavy, filled with worry and scarcity. But today, as your foot crosses the threshold, the atmosphere shifts. The heaviness lifts. Conversations turn towards solutions instead of problems. Ideas for increase begin to flow. Even others notice. Something feels lighter in here today. They may not know it, but your footsteps commanded the shift. This is why I tell you, never underestimate your presence. The moment you walk in faith, your energy imprints itself onto the place. It is not arrogance. It is law. Florence taught, the game of life is a game of boomerangs. What you send out comes back. When you send out wealth commanding footsteps, they bounce back into your experience multiplied. When you radiate abundance through your stride, lack cannot hold its ground. So from this moment on, stop saying, "This place drains me." Instead, declare, "This place cannot stay the same after I enter. I bring the law of wealth with every step. I am the atmosphere shift." Do this, and you will notice strange and glorious things happening. Rooms feel different when you arrive. Conversations move toward progress. People feel inspired in your presence. Opportunities begin appearing in the very places that once seemed barren. This is the hidden secret. Wealth is not only commanded into your bank account, it is commanded into spaces. And as you learn to shift atmospheres, the universe learns to send wealth ahead of you, so that by the time you arrive, abundance is already waiting. And in the next revelation, I will show you how the Footstep Law ties directly to territory, how your steps can mark out not just rooms, but entire grounds of prosperity, expanding your borders with every stride. Florence Scovel Shinn declared, "Man can only receive what he sees himself receiving." And I tell you today, your footsteps are the vision made flesh. They are the evidence that you see yourself worthy of walking into new territory. From the earliest scriptures to the wisdom of sages, footsteps have always been tied to inheritance. God told Joshua, "Every place the sole of your foot shall tread upon, that have I given you." Notice the tense, not will give, but have given, meaning the wealth was already waiting. The territory was already prepared. The promise was already done. The act of stepping was the seal of ownership. This is the footstep law of territory. Every step you take on ground you claim in faith extends your borders. Think about it. Kings once marked their kingdoms not by ink on paper, but by foot on soil. Where they marched, their kingdom grew. Where their soldiers stood, their authority expanded. And in the same way, when you walk in faith, your kingdom of wealth expands. This is not metaphor. This is energy. Where you place your foot, you leave a vibrational signature that says, "This belongs to me by divine right." And heaven aligns resources, opportunities, and connections to confirm your claim. Let me give you a practice. Walk through your home, whether large or small, whether grand or humble, and decree with every step, "This home multiplies. This ground prospers. This space expands." Walk through your workplace and affirm, "This place becomes a fountain of increase." Even walk the streets of your neighborhood, silently commanding, "Abundance flows here. Prosperity is claimed here. Wealth surrounds this territory." You are not just walking, you are drawing invisible boundary lines. And with every step, the borders of your prosperity grow wider. Florence said, "Your word is your wand." But here's the deeper mystery. Your foot is your seal. Your word declares. Your foot seals. Your decree speaks. Your stride proves. Now imagine this. Every place you've ever walked in faith is glowing on a map of your life. Golden lights appear where your feet have claimed. Your home glows brighter. Your workplace radiates. The very streets you walked now shine like golden rivers. This is your kingdom of wealth, and it grows with every faithful step. Do you see now why hesitation steals more than time? It steals territory. Every moment you delay, ground goes unclaimed, but every step you take boldly in faith marks more of the world with your divine inheritance. So whisper this with me now. Every step I take expands my borders. Every footfall claims ground for prosperity. My inheritance grows beneath my stride, and wealth meets me in every place I enter. This is the footstep law of territory, and once you grasp it, you will never walk casually again, because each step is not just movement, it is ownership. Each stride is not just travel, it is expansion. Each path is not just a journey, it is a kingdom being built beneath your feet. And in the next revelation, I will reveal the hidden connection between footsteps and memory. How every ground you've ever walked still carries your imprint, and how revisiting those places can reactivate dormant blessings waiting for you. Florence Scovel Shinn once said, "Nothing is ever lost in divine mind." And that includes the memory of your footsteps. Every ground you have ever walked upon still carries your imprint. Every threshold you have ever crossed still holds a whisper of your decree. Even if you were unaware at the time, your feet were recording. They were leaving traces in the unseen. Science calls it residual energy. The ancients called it sacred imprint. But Florence called it simply the law of return. What you send out, what you impress upon life, returns multiplied. And your feet, oh, how they impress. Have you ever gone back to a childhood home and felt waves of emotion rush in? Or walked an old street and suddenly remembered details you hadn't thought of in decades? That is the law of footstep memory. The ground remembers, and the ground responds. Now here is the hidden truth. You can reactivate the blessings of your past steps. Every place you once walked in faith still holds the energy of that faith. Every prayerful walk, every bold stride, every moment when you said, "I am chosen. I am worthy. I am wealthy." The ground stored it. It is not gone. It is waiting. This is why Florence often said, "Words and thoughts are seeds sown. They grow after their kind." Your steps, too, are seeds. And just like seeds in the soil, they can spring back to life when revisited. Here's the practice. Is possible. Return to a place where you once believed. It could be the first office you dreamed in, the street you used to walk while whispering prayers, even the church floor where you once declared your faith. When you step there again, whisper softly, "I awaken the seed. I call forth the harvest. I claim what was stored here for me." And if returning physically isn't possible, close your eyes and revisit in spirit. Picture the ground. Hear the sounds. Feel the steps you once took. And decree, nothing is lost. Every seed is alive. Every step I took in faith now bears fruit. Suddenly, you'll find blessings re-emerging, old contacts calling, forgotten opportunities resurfacing. new doors opening in places you thought were closed. Why? Because nothing is wasted. Every step of faith was recorded, and every step of faith is waiting for its harvest. So let me ask you, how many places in your past are holding wealth for you right now? How many footsteps have you sown without realizing the ground was keeping record? It is time to call them forth. It is time to harvest the fields of your own footprints. And in the next revelation, we will explore how to turn every future step into a moving altar, so that everywhere you walk becomes holy ground, consecrated for prosperity before. Florence Scovel Shinn. Once, Florence Scovel Shinn wrote, "Every step you take should be a step of faith, for faith opens the way where there is no way." Now that you understand how past footsteps carry memory, let us move forward into the mystery of how future steps can be turned into altars. An altar is not merely a pile of stone or a sacred space in a temple. An altar is a meeting point where heaven touches earth. And with the Footstep Law, your very stride can become that meeting point. Your walk can become an altar in motion. How? By consecrating each step before it even touches the ground. By lifting your foot not casually, not blindly, but prayerfully, powerfully, intentionally. Here's how to practice this. As you prepare to step, whisper inwardly, "This foot carries blessing." As it rises, decree, "This foot carries wealth." And as it touches the ground, seal it, "This place is holy. This place prospers." Suddenly, your walk transforms. No longer a mindless movement. No longer just a way to get from one place to another, but a living ritual. Every step, a declaration. Every stride, an altar. Can you see it? As you walk, golden flames ignite where your feet land. Each step marks the ground with light, leaving behind glowing altars, tiny flames of wealth, rising where there was once nothing. And these altars do not go out. They remain, shining in the unseen realm, radiating prosperity long after you have passed. Florence reminded us, man can only receive what he prepares for. By consecrating each step, you prepare not only yourself, but the ground beneath you to receive wealth. The universe, attentive as ever, responds. This one has prepared the way. This one has commanded the ground. Wealth, obey. Now imagine walking into your workplace with this awareness. Instead of trudging in, dreading the day, you enter with each step saying, "This place prospers because I am here." You walk into a store and silently decree, "Abundance rises in this atmosphere." You walk into your own home and affirm, "Peace, plenty, and provision flow here." Step after step, altar after altar, your entire path becomes consecrated ground. And because altars are places of sacrifice and offering, your every step becomes an offering of faith. And faith, Florence said, is the one thing that never fails to return multiplied. So let this be your daily practice. Walk slowly at first, noticing each lift and fall of your foot. Speak inwardly as if heaven is listening, because it is. Leave behind a trail of light, of wealth, of blessing. Soon, walking will no longer be ordinary. It will be prayer. It will be prophecy. It will be wealth in motion. And in the next revelation, we will explore the mystery of footsteps and time, how every step can bend time itself, hastening your blessings, speeding up divine appointments, and collapsing delays. Florence Scovel Shinn declared, "There is no delay in divine mind. What belongs to you comes quickly and perfectly." And yet, how often do we feel delayed? How often do we say, "My blessing is taking too long. My prayer has not been answered. My harvest is late." The Footstep Law reveals a mystery. Your steps can bend time. Every stride you take in faith collapses delay. Every footfall in command draws the future into the now. Think of it this way. Time is not a straight line. It is elastic. It stretches, it bends, it folds. And when you walk in decree, your footsteps become anchors that pull future wealth into your present reality. The ancients knew this. That is why processions, pilgrimages, and sacred walks were powerful. They were not just about distance, but about collapsing distance between prayer and manifestation. Each step was a magnet pulling heaven closer. Here's how to practice it. As you walk, say inwardly with each step, "Delay bends. Time collapses. Wealth arrives." Picture the calendar pages flipping forward in seconds. Picture clocks melting in your path. Picture deadlines vanishing and doors opening ahead of schedule. Your footsteps are rewriting time. Florence reminded us, man's word is his wand filled with magic and power. Your feet, too, become wands, striking the ground and commanding time itself to obey. Let me paint it for you. You've been waiting months for an opportunity. Others told you it might take years. But one day, as you walk in decree, your stride pulls the opportunity forward. The call comes early. The deal closes suddenly. The money shows up out of nowhere. What really happened? Your footsteps bent time to serve your command. This is why I say, do not walk idly anymore. Do not let your steps drag as though they are powerless. Lift them with awareness. Strike them with decree. See each one collapsing delay and summoning blessings into the now. Whisper this with me. No more delay. Every step speeds my wealth. Every stride draws miracles near. I walk, and time bends to serve me. Florence said, "Blessed is the man who has trained his imagination to receive only good." When you imagine your steps bending time, you train your spirit to expect swiftness, to expect suddenness, to expect the overnight miracle. And soon, you'll see it. What once took years now takes months. What once took months now takes weeks. What once took weeks arrives overnight. This is the Footstep Law, collapsing delay, bending time, and hastening your wealth. And in the next revelation, I will show you the final deep mystery, how footsteps and destiny intertwine, how each step not only brings wealth, but also guides you into the exact path you were born to walk, where every blessing has already been laid in wait. Florence Scovel Shinn declared, "Man's destiny is controlled by the law of his words." But let me reveal the deeper truth. Your steps are words in motion. Each footfall is a decree written upon the earth. We often ask, am I walking the right path? Am I on the road to my destiny? And the answer lies in this. Every step you take in alignment with faith becomes the path of destiny. It cannot be otherwise. Destiny is not a distant prize. It is the trail your feet carve in obedience. Each faithful step reveals the next stone, the next doorway, the next turn, and when you walk in the Footstep Law, you can no longer miss your path because your stride creates it. Picture this. You are standing in what looks like an empty field. No road ahead, no direction clear. But as soon as you lift your foot and step into decree, the ground glows beneath you. Stones appear where there were none. A golden path unrolls in front of you, step by step, not mile by mile. This is destiny, not a far-off finish line, but a living road built beneath your feet as you move. Florence reminded us, intuition is the magic path, the beeline to your demonstration. When you consecrate your footsteps, you awaken intuition. You suddenly know where to walk, who to call, which door to knock on. And as you obey those nudges, your destiny reveals itself like a tapestry woven right under your feet. Here's your decree for destiny. My steps are ordered. My path is prepared. Every stride carries me deeper into my divine inheritance. Say this as you walk, and notice how life arranges itself. People you were meant to meet suddenly cross your path. Opportunities you didn't even search for show up at the exact right time. Mistakes you might have made are gently rerouted by unseen hands. This is no accident. This is the Footstep Law in its highest form. Destiny unfolding stride by stride. Do not fear missing your path. The moment you decree with your steps, the ground itself reshapes to carry you. The wrong turns dissolve. The dead ends vanish. The detours become shortcuts. And the very road you walk leads straight to your wealthy place. Remember, Florence said, "What man condemns in others, he attracts to himself. What he blesses in others, he draws to himself." So bless every path you take. Bless every person you pass. Bless every threshold you cross. For blessing is the compass that ensures you cannot get lost. So walk boldly, knowing this. Destiny is not ahead of you. It is beneath you. It awakens under your feet. And with each step, you are not wandering, you are fulfilling. And in the next revelation, we will uncover how to seal your wealth journey with the sound of footsteps. Why the rhythm of your stride is itself a frequency that commands abundance. And how to tune that rhythm to the music of prosperity. Florence Scovel Shinn declared, "Your word is your wand, but let me give you the secret most overlook. Your footstep is also your drum. Every step creates a rhythm. Every stride produces a frequency. And heaven listens to rhythm as much as it listens to words. Have you ever noticed the sound of confident footsteps echoing through a hallway? Something about it makes you turn your head. It carries authority. It carries certainty. It carries presence. Now, compare it to the dragging shuffle of weary feet. The sound alone reveals the state of the soul. And the universe responds not just to your words, but to your walk. This is the Footstep Law of rhythm. The sound of your stride commands reality. When you walk with heaviness dragging your feet, the vibration says, delay, burden, lack. But when you walk with strength, with rhythm, with cadence, your feet beat out the drum of prosperity. wealth, opportunity, flow. Every culture has known this. Drums, dances, marches. They all use footsteps to summon power. Soldiers march to a beat not only for discipline, but because synchronized steps shake the ground and amplify authority. In the same way, when you align your walk with a rhythm of faith, your steps shake the unseen world. They become music. They become decree. They become wealth's summons. Here's the practice. As you walk, tune into the sound of your steps. Give them rhythm, steady, firm, alive. Whisper in sync with them. I walk in wealth. I walk in strength. I walk in command. Feel how your pace changes. Notice how confidence rises. The very sound of your walk shifts the atmosphere around you. Florence said, "The invisible forces are ever working for man, who is always pulling the strings." Your footsteps are those strings. Pull them in rhythm, beat the drum of prosperity with every stride. Now picture this. You are walking into an interview. Instead of nervous shuffles, your footsteps strike firm and even. You are already commanding respect before a word leaves your lips. Or you are walking into your home after a long day. Your family hears your confident stride and feels the security of abundance arriving with you. Do not underestimate this. The world hears your wealth before you speak it. It hears it in the music of your footsteps. So let this be your decree. My walk is my wealth song. My footsteps are the drum of prosperity. Every stride beats out the rhythm of abundance, and the universe dances to my command. And in the final revelation, we will bring it all together. The memory of past footsteps, the consecration of present ones, and the destiny of future steps into one great command that seals the Footstep Law forever in your life. Florence Scovel Shinn declared, "Every great work, every big accomplishment has been brought into manifestation through holding to the vision, and often just one step more." The Footstep Law has led us here, to the final seal. We have uncovered the memory of footsteps past, the consecration of footsteps present, and the destiny of footsteps yet to come. Now it is time to bind them all together into one great decree, a command so complete that every step you take from this moment forward becomes a living law of wealth. Pause with me. Listen inwardly. Your heart is already keeping time. Your breath is already moving in rhythm. Now your feet shall join them. Here is the decree of the Footstep Law. Every step I take awakens memory, consecrates presence, and commands destiny. Every stride I walk bends time, opens doors, and summons wealth. My footsteps are light. My footsteps are law. My footsteps are wealth in motion. Say it once. Say it twice. Say it until your very body believes it. Because this is no longer theory. This is no longer just teaching. This is covenant. The ground itself will bear witness. The air itself will carry the rhythm. Heaven itself will echo your decree. Florence reminded us, man can only receive what he sees himself receiving. So see yourself walking boldly, light on your feet, wealth rising with every stride. See golden paths appearing where there was once emptiness. See clocks bending, calendars collapsing, miracles rushing in to meet your pace. And remember this: the footstep law is not just about walking. It is about movement, progress, momentum. It is about refusing to stay stuck in the waiting room of lack and instead walking boldly into the halls of abundance. So I ask you, the next time you rise from your bed, will your first step be casual or will it be command? The next time you cross a threshold, will your stride be weary or will it be wealth in motion? The next time your feet strike the ground, will the earth hear doubt or will it hear decree? Because from this day forward, you no longer walk as you once did. You walk as one chosen. You walk as one commanded. You walk as one whose every step is law. Whisper this one last time with me. Where I walk, wealth walks. Where I stand, prosperity stands. Where I move, miracles move. Every footstep I take is divine decree, and heaven obeys my stride. Beloved, the footstep law is yours. Walk it, live it, command it, and watch as the ground itself delivers fortune beneath your feet.